I can tell you that I can still smell that smoke lingering in the air this morning. There's still crime scene tape up all around this home blocking it off. Then they move on to where they get their temperature taken just to make sure they don't have any symptoms. It's really quick and easy process. And once this actually takes your temperature, the light will change colors, signaling that you are okay to go. I've been here since just before 2 this morning, and you can still see the crime scene tape up around the perimeter, and you can also see that there is still a heavy law enforcement presence, and that's because this is still a very active scene, a very active investigation. Right now, crews are actually here at the park cleaning it up from that protest. They're emptying out the trash cans and moving posters that were left behind, just like this one, on some of those park benches. Well, you guys, I just stepped out of that meeting in the last 10 minutes, and I'm back outside of the courthouse, and you can see that there are actually people gathered outside of the statue right now. Some of them are protesting in favor of the statue being removed, while others are saying that they do want it to stay here. Here at Delaney, they're still closed. You can see that right behind me. And barricades like this one, they're still up, keeping people out of the marina. Is the one word, getting people in this Boaz community through this storm all day. They spent time boarding up windows, cutting down trees, and putting tarps over roofs, all as they work to wrap their heads around what happened.
Everybody always says it sounded just like a train coming, and we didn't have very much warning at all.
Theron Drake and his wife were home when they heard the storm coming. They hid in their bathtub covered in pillows. Their next door neighbor hid in his closet, but nothing prepared them for the aftermath.
Home's totally destroyed just in a matter of seconds.
While Clay's home on Hillview Avenue received some damage, it wasn't nearly as bad as the damage at his next door neighbor's Theron Drake's home.
Front window's out, and I've got a big hole in my roof over my garage.
Still, that's not the worst of the damage in their tight-knit community. The storm ripped some homes apart. It's something Drake wasn't prepared to see.
You see this on television, and you really just don't expect it to happen to you, you know. But it did, so we just got to clean up and keep going.
Now the community is coming together to pick up the pieces. Both homeowners tell me they're grateful no one was seriously hurt and for the support of the community.
Just by the grace of God, I guess, is all.
Community always comes together at times like this.
Community is what everyone here hopes gets them through this. In Boaz, Rodnea Ross, WAAY 31 News. Sarah McClendon told me these days it's all about normalcy, and that's how she is adapting to our changing world.
Getting up at 7, and the first thing that we do is we go for a walk, and here's my why. It gets us out of the house like we normally would first thing in the morning.
Sarah McClendon is an assistant principal at Monrovia Elementary School. Since schools closed down in March, life has changed for the mom of 4. These days, she spends most of her day on video conference calls, helping build a curriculum for students and getting ready for next school year. And she's also making sure her girls keep up with their schoolwork.
And so my older 2, that's when I send them upstairs and they work on their independent reading.
And to add to her stress, McClendon's husband is an essential worker, and the worry that he could get coronavirus and pass it on to the family has changed the way they do things at home.
And he'll come in and drop his clothes in there. We'll run him through the wash, and he'll go straight to a shower and clean off, and then kind of reintegrate in with the girls.
As the family adjusts, McClendon says they're relying on one thing.
Grace is the vocabulary word in our family. You know, you got to extend it and receive it.
McClendon told me she wants other parents at home to know that they're not alone and that they'll all get through this together. In Madison County, Rodnea Ross, WAAY 31 News. That's right, patients no longer have to go to their doctor's office for an appointment. Instead, all they need is an electronic device and have the appointment from the comfort of their home.
Well, if we can see people from the comfort of their home, then they never have to risk any exposure on their way to the office or once they get to the office.
Dr. Jacqueline Green is an interventional cardiologist at Huntsville Hospital. As the coronavirus pandemic continues to grow, she's set up telehealth for her patients.
Certainly the appointment's more efficient for patients, especially those who are traveling from long distances.
It's simple to use. The doctor's office will call you over the phone to get information like your prescriptions and vital signs.
They can run to the kitchen, get their pill bottle, and I've actually had a patient put the bottle in front of the video and rotate it around so that I can see the medication that they're actually taking.
When it's time for your appointment, you'll sign into telehealth and wait in a virtual waiting room until the doctor is ready for you. Dr. Green told me patients were a bit hesitant to try the new technology at first.
About 30% agreed to do so.
But as her patients are learning more about telehealth, they're coming around to the idea.
Now I'm up to closer to 80 or 90% of my patients agreeing to a telehealth appointment.
Dr. Green told me one of the things she likes best about telehealth is that it allows family members who are out of state to support their loved ones through a tough medical conversation. In Huntsville, Rodney Ross, WAY 31 News.